Good morning, yarn tubers. Welcome back to Wanderlust Crochet with Dana and Dooley and Jack. Okay, a couple things. First of all, I made a thing, and I'm calling it the 3-in-1 kitchen linen. The reason is because it is a hot pad, a pot holder, and a dishcloth. I have written the pattern out for it, and I'll put it in the description box. If you need something to copy and paste or print out or whatever, email me, message me, whatever. Get a hold of me. I know that, you can't copy and paste from the description box, right? You could do a screenshot of it, and, that's great. If you're into thread crochet, no problem. If you've never done thread crochet and you're intimidated by it, I think this is a great place to start. So, even though I wrote it out and made some changes for mine, here is mine. It is not an original design. I showed these things to you before. This gal, who has passed on now several years ago, did these. They're a filet crochet in thread. It's cotton thread, right? So why not? And she made 2 of them and then put a border around it. Okay, well, I want, just a little bit bigger. So I went with, and I did all the maths. She winged it, and she did a fabulous job of winging it on both of these. Totally winged it. I did the maths. I have to do the maths. So all the maths were done. And I love the simple design. It is, so basically you make these 2 panels. And I did, on each end you've got just straight double crochet. And then I did 3 rows of the block pattern. And then I would do just a filet mesh in between each of the 3 rows of the block pattern. So, and then at the end I ended it after 3 rows of the block pattern, and then did a row, of just straight double crochet. And then I put them together and I single crocheted them together, being very careful that the stitches, completely lined up, so I didn't get a wonky product. So it is completely lined up, just cleanly done in single crochet in the border with a chain 1 in the corner. That's it for the corner. Now she did one here that it's hard to see the design, where the blocks are on this because of the variegated. But after it's been washed and, used and washed a couple times, it is so soft. And, like here's some blocks, and she just kind of did some, random blocks where the rest was just mesh. And she did a beautiful, shell around. And on the back side was just a mesh. And I'm telling you, this is thick enough that you can use it as a pot holder. You can use it as a hot pad trivet. But it's thin enough that you can wash your dishes with it. Heck, you can make a bathroom set with these. So for, with a washcloth. I'm very excited about this because I don't see this out there. I just did a simple filet pattern with a single crochet around it. The border isn't quite as clean on the back side, but I don't care. It's clean enough that I am satisfied with it. Now, when I did this, I'm usually pretty picky about, going into the tops of the stitches with my single crochet, first round of a border. But I'm very happy with how it looks by just going in between the double crochets on the top here. I went in between the double crochets to do those single crochets, and I did it and I upped the size of the hook. For the body of the project, I used a 1.3 millimeter steel hook. For the border, I went up to a 1.65 just to make it easier on myself, and I was, you know, pretty loose while still trying to make the stitches nice and even on the top. I used a 1.65 and went in between the double crochet, and then chain one in the corner, and then on the end of each double crochet row I made sure there were 2 single crochet in the end, you know, just going around the post, not going into the double crochet stitch like I would with yarn, or, you know, most of the time with yarn. It depends on the project. If I feel like it's making it too gappy, I will do the proper, correct, whatever crochet and go into that side stitch for a border. But if I feel like it doesn't make it too gappy, which it didn't here, I just go around the post of each double crochet and made sure there were 2 single crochets going around, you know, the ends of each of the rows. I'm really excited about this. I've already sent a picture to Connie over at Just Another Stitch for, you know, a finished object, you know, a little recognition, because that's fun. That gets the dopamine going, right? So I'm very happy with this. But again, it is not an original design. Not even close. This gal, Tony, before she died, she had original designs, and I'm really impressed with her work. Here's what else I've got. I bought yarn for the Fall Yarny YouTube hop. So I got fall colors. Okay, and I didn't know whether or not I really wanted to do the ivory or the white. I don't know. White is nice and clean and crisp, but the ivory is cozy. You know, it's cozy. So what I have here are these. I went, and I told you guys this before, I went to my favorite search engine, which is not Goo, and I just said fall color palette, and, you know, looked at all the images and came up with what I feel is a fall color palette that I can love. So let's put it all up against here with the ivory. And here's my fall colors. This is a papaya, of course, the teal, the brown. They call that red Bordeaux. I call it burgundy. It's showing up more red in the camera, but okay, so that's all of those with the ivory. Let's hold up the, I don't know, the white really makes it pop, doesn't it? Really kind of makes it pop. What do you guys think? I really want your opinion on that. You know, I'm all about the creamy colors, but this ivory, to me, it's not ivory. It's more of just an off-white, and it, in real life, it's not as pretty and creamy as it's showing up in the video. I want to say it's a dirtier color than it's showing up in the video. In the video it looks nice and creamy, but it's not. It's not nice and creamy, and now I'm leaning towards the white. What do you guys think? So the Fall Yarny YouTube hop, I have a project, you know, projects that I'm doing for that. That's the next thing I'm working on. Putting other projects aside, because this has a true let's say deadline, and that's, you know, the first day of fall. And for those of you who missed it before, yes, I've mentioned it several times, as the Summer Yarny YouTube hop kind of got within my radar, and I got excited and emailed the Crafty Nomad. Hi girl, she's such a sweetie, and said I would really like to be a part of it, and she welcomed me. So if any of you want to know about that, there's a link to the Summer Yarny YouTube hop in the description box. There was a Spring Yarny YouTube hop, and I totally missed it. Totally missed it. But you know how it is. There are a lot of things that we miss on YouTube because our Yarny community is so large. It's so vast, right? But I'm very happy with this. I'm calling it the 3-in-1 kitchen linen. Why? Because I can picture 3 uses for this. Hot pad, you know, a trivet that you set your hot stuff on the table, and you can make it bigger, you know, if you want to make it bigger, you can do that. And also a hot pad. I feel very comfortable grabbing hot things with this. It's big enough it covers my hand, and it's thick enough to keep the heat from coming through, and also it'd make an awesome dishcloth or washcloth. So 3-in-1 crocheted kitchen linen. What do you guys think of that? Tell me what you think, and give me your opinions about my colors. You know, I have to have burgundy and teal and just about everything in my kitchen, so that's why when I looked at those color palettes, I made sure burgundy and teal, you know, were in those palettes, and came up with this combination. And I think it's gonna, you know, that papaya kind of represents, you know, a pumpkin type color, and yeah. I'll show it again with the white. I think that's how it really pops. Really great for fall. And you know what? When I, you know, had an actual house, the only season I decorated for was fall. I love fall. Well, come to find out, well, I mean, I was born in October, so, and then come to find out, I just recently found out, you guys can stop if you don't want to hear non-yarny stuff. Recently, my mom came across some very old mementos. And in those mementos was a letter that she had forgotten about. It was from my Uncle Toby. And he was writing congratulations to them for having a baby girl. And went on to, the letter was, geared towards my father, and was offering him some books on electronics, and it was so cool, the terminology that was being used. And then a second sheet had a poem that Uncle Toby wrote for me. And I'm gonna, you know what? I think it's right here. And I can read it to you guys. My sweet Uncle Toby, oops, there's my needle that I used for weaving in the ends on that, it's not a big yarn needle, for weaving in the ends on that. But right behind here is I don't know where it is now. But, maybe over on the other channel, I will find that and read it to you. But it was all about fall and leaves changing, and everything about fall just makes my heart all warm and fuzzy. And yeah, my Uncle Toby wrote me a poem when I was born. He's very elderly now, and is suffering some end of life kind of diseases, but his mind is still there. His body's not cooperating, but he's still with us. And fall is my thing. That's the whole point of all this. Blah, blah, blah. Fall is my thing. I don't wear fall colors. They don't look good on me. But decorating in fall colors, just, that's what I always love to do. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Off I went. I hope you guys like my finished object. I actually finished something again. And I'm getting ready to start on the next item. That this isn't exactly for the fall yarny YouTube hop, but this other next two projects are. So, do you guys like useful, very versatile crochet? I do. Something that doesn't look too, what's the word? Kitschy. I don't even know what that word means. All right, I'm done. I love you guys. Bye.